This is North Texas Weather Center with your latest 4-minute forecast, as we do have a lot to get to in this forecast, including the pretty nice temperatures out there this morning. A lot of us are waking up to low 50s all across North Texas, even some areas starting to get into the mid 50s this morning. Temperatures by lunchtime will be all warming up into the mid to upper 50s, some low 60s back off to the west. 3 o'clock this afternoon, the warmest of the temperatures will stay out to our west, closer to areas like Wichita Falls, Abilene, and San Angelo, where they'll be getting into the upper 60s, lower 70s. Here in the Metroplex, well, most of us will only top off around 60 degrees today, so just keep that in mind. Not nearly as warm as you probably would think it would be, especially with how nice it is this morning, but that's what we're looking at today. All right, obviously we have a lot to expect here over the next 48 to 72 hours, including the big winter storm that we're watching very closely. Let's go ahead and take a look at the future radar. So today we'll stay dry for the most part. Can't rely on an isolated passing shower or a little downpour, primarily off to the east though. Going to tomorrow, we'll start pretty much nice. I mean, we're not going to see any precipitation tomorrow morning. All of it will be primarily after sunset, especially for DFW. So 12 o'clock, you can kind of see where the dividing line is between rain and then a mix of some rain and as well as maybe some snow. And then the blue area here is all that snow that we're kind of going to be watching out for as well. But at this point, the big event will likely be ice and then maybe some snow as well for DFW. So here's what we'll look at 12 o'clock. Eventually by about 3 o'clock, you can see a lot of Wichita Falls starts to get included, maybe some freezing rain and maybe a little bit of sleet and snow potentially right about 3 o'clock. Childress will be translating right over to snow, so primarily snow well back off to our northwest, but you can see Wichita Falls will be a bit more of a mix by then. 6 o'clock is when the temperatures will start to drop across North Texas, which will translate to have that chance for some freezing rain, which will go into basically accumulate into ice, and as well as that chance for maybe some snow as well. So 6 o'clock, freezing rain starts to enter the far most northern counties right along the Red River, starting to enter far western DFW. Eventually by 7, 8 o'clock, primarily freezing rain still ongoing, not dropping too far south at this point. So if you have any plans in DFW sometime between 7 and 9 o'clock, a little bit risky, but if you have to do something and it's urgent, go ahead and do it. But obviously a lot of ice is going to accumulate primarily after midnight. 8 o'clock, though, as well, Wichita Falls is going to be going right to snow, so it'll be primarily snow for Wichita Falls overnight. 10, 11 o'clock, freezing rain really starts to get close to DFW. If not, it will be in DFW by about 11, 12 o'clock. Eventually going to the overnight hours, you can kind of see this is about 12 o'clock. Again, freezing rain for most of northern DFW. This does start to move into our region by 6 o'clock tomorrow or Thursday morning. You can see freezing rain across areas like Dallas, Plano, Claiborne, and Paris. Sherman is in more of a mix. This purple will represent more of a snow, sleet mix, so just keep that in mind. Primarily snow back off close to Wichita Falls. 9 o'clock, still going. Eventually by lunchtime, a lot of this starts to move off to the east. This does not mean anything, though, in terms of will there still be ice on the ground, because it's going to be below freezing all day for Thursday and potentially all day Friday as well. Eventually by 3, 6 o'clock, can't rule out some flurries, some light snow going into the afternoon and evening hours Thursday. Might be a nice event for you if you're looking for some snow, but it will not really accumulate to much. Maybe a coating to an inch if you see any snow after the fact. Most of that heavy precipitation moves off to our east. All right, what are we looking at in terms of snow totals? So as I kind of said in yesterday's forecast, you can see probably the best chance for snow will be Wichita Falls and Seymour. 3 to 7 inches possible. Low end is potentially 3 inches, so Wichita Falls might only see 3, and then they could see as much as 7. So just keep that in mind. 2 to 4 inches for Graham, Bowie. Again, you could be on the low end of 2. You could be on the high end of 4. And 1 to 3 inches for Mineral Wells, Decatur, and Gainesville. This does include far western Denton County. Now, you're probably going to say, we're going to see 3 inches in western Denton County. That's not what that means. You'll probably only see at the most an inch. And again, that's because I think the 3 inches will stay the furthest west along that dark blue shaded line. And then around an inch or less across areas like Brownwood, Stephenville, Claiborne, Dallas, Fort Worth, Denton, McKinney, and whatnot. That'll likely just be flurries or maybe a coating, but I can't roll it up to an inch. Ice accumulation, big event. Obviously, it's going to be a lot of ice, and you can tell that most of the ice will be the most accumulative across areas of northern DFW. Still some moderate ice across the rest of DFW, and then eventually, if you're out closer to Seymour, or as far east as maybe Sulphur Springs, under a tenth of an inch, which again is a lot, so I would not drive if you do get any ice. Untreated roads can be very dangerous to drive on. All right, let's take a look at the temperatures Friday morning. Trying to wrap up this forecast pretty quickly for you. Teens and 20s when you wake up, maybe even some single digits back off to the west. Wind chills below zero. Make sure you have a winter jacket because it will be frigid going into Friday morning. It will definitely our coldest day of the year. Latest 6-day forecast, your full 7-day forecast will be out at 12 o'clock today. You can see temperatures over the next, or at least today will be nice, but again, tomorrow will not be nice at all. We'll start to see the temperatures in the 50s, but it will eventually drop during the daytime. Thursday, coldest day of the week. Friday and Saturday will start to warm back up. Most of the melting will happen on Saturday. Not a whole lot will happen on Friday, so school will probably not occur either Thursday or Friday if you have any ice. Eventually by Sunday, temperatures back into the mid-40s. Not really seasonal for this time of the year, but it's definitely something to look forward to. This forecast is brought to you by All Dense Repair, Dallas Antenna, as well as THD Vehicle Doorstep. Buy one in the description below.